Welcome to My Off-Grid Adventures. I'm Frank, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Today, I want to walk you through a few of the questions that people have been asking over the last few weeks and months. I want to give you some answers to those questions and just tell you a little bit more about myself and our property and our channel. First off, our channel is called My Off-Grid Adventures, and it's not spelled with an M-Y, but an M-I to represent the state of Michigan, because that's where we live and that's the state that we love. We've lived here most of our lives. We did chase a career opportunity that took us across the country for just about a year, but we quickly returned to our beautiful home state, and we have vowed to never leave her again. We love Michigan, and we have no intention of leaving it. So let me walk through some of these questions and tell you a little bit more about ourselves. Well, first, people have asked me what I mean when I say ourselves or we or our, because usually it's just me in the video. But I am not alone. I have a beautiful wife. I have 4 adult children, 2 grandchildren, and 2 sons-in-laws. We also have a grand pup, and we have a lot of friends and family that come and enjoy this property with us. When I first started this channel, it was a 40-acre off-grid property, and now we're so glad to be able to share that it is 60 acres. We just recently were able to purchase the 20 acres that borders our property from a neighbor. So it's just fantastic to have not just more land, but it gave us about a quarter mile of river access, which is just fantastic, and we intend to do a lot with that this year. Our property is completely off-grid. We have no power other than that which we generate through solar or through our gas generator. Why are we off-grid? I can tell you, first of all, it's not to save money. I don't really know how you would do long-term off-grid living and do it in a way that saves you money over if you had a power hookup. And the reason that I don't have power here is because I didn't want it to disrupt the property. It is expensive to get it, but over the long haul, it would be cheaper. But I didn't like the way that it would have to tear up our land to bring the power in. I love keeping our property as undisturbed and natural as possible. So for that reason, and just for the satisfaction of being self-reliant, we have chosen to keep our property off-grid. Unlike a lot of off-gridders, we don't have a cabin. We have an RV that's stationary on our property, and it suits us so well. We don't really have any intention of building a cabin to replace this. We might build a smaller cabin down by the river on the new property that we purchased, and that'll just be a place to escape and have some fun, but we don't necessarily intend on replacing this anytime soon. It works so well. It's a 2018 Keystone Springdale RT something, I don't remember the model, but it works really well for our needs. I always say it's nicer than a lot of the apartments that we've lived in before, so I'm really happy with it. We have a really good setup with it here. You might be able to see right there, we have a Starlink system, which works fantastically because I do work in a remote office, which is in the RV here. I own a business, a marketing agency, amplifymarketers.com. So I need high-speed internet for work and for video conferencing, and I have a video about that, how happy we are with Starlink. Since it's stationary, though, we don't have to use the Roam or the RV version. We're able to use the residential. We didn't know that at first, so we started with the Roam, but now we're able to save some money with the residential service. It's pretty much the same equipment. It's just changing whether you're using it in multiple locations as you move around or if it's in one spot. There's a lot of variety of terrain on our 60 acres. I'd love to tell you a little bit about that, about what it's like. There's a 7-acre field that used to be farmed, and we're going to be farming part of it this year ourselves. We have a tractor that we purchased this year to take care of some of the winter storm damage from all the limbs that fell and to help with plowing the snow and things like that. But we're also going to use it to till and to plant in the field out there. We're going to have pumpkins and corn and sunflowers and a number of other things, some fruit trees. We're going to do quite a bit with that this year. We also have a river. We used to only have about 50 yards of riverfront access, but now that's grown to over a quarter mile, and it's a beautiful, beautiful river. So we are looking forward to doing some tubing on that, some fishing, some wading, and we have a lot that we can enjoy with it. The woods in our property is almost entirely accessible, and by that I mean it's not swampy, it's not thick with overgrown brush. You can hike and walk and ride and do all kinds of things on almost the entire 60 acres of our property, which makes it just so beautiful. And it has a mix of mature pines, mature maples and oaks, and beech trees. We have a very healthy patch of wild grapes that are growing on the property. There's just a lot to enjoy here with the beauty of the woods. One thing I just always have to share is that although we've only owned this property for about 2 years, we've had access to it for decades. The initial 40 acres that we purchased was owned by our neighbor across the street when I was a child growing up, and they allowed us to have permission to use this property for hunting and for bringing my children out here when they were young to hike and play. They gave us permission to train my son when he was younger on how to ride a dirt bike out here. We have so much history on this property with my children and my parents. It's just a very nostalgic place that our entire family enjoys. So we are so grateful to have been able to purchase it a couple of years ago, and boy, are we using it. We do so much out here, and every year we do more, and we just love it so much. One of the many things that I love about this property is how quiet it is. Most of the time, all you can hear are the sounds of nature. And sometimes there'll be a car going by in the distance, but even that is quite rare. It's such a quiet place out here. You step out of the car after being in the city and you just are struck by the silence and the clear skies at night and how beautiful the stars are. You can tell I genuinely love being out here. It is my happy place. One thing I didn't realize until becoming a YouTuber myself is how much you do value the viewers. I do really feel like you're here with me, and I appreciate your presence out here with me. I enjoy your company, and even though it's a little bit of a weird way to say that, I do feel like you're here with me, and I thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time to join me on these off-grid adventures. And your comments mean a lot, even if it's just a little word of encouragement. There are about 1% of the comments that come in to our channel are kind of nasty and hurtful. So every positive comment, even if it's just a short note, means a lot. So thank you for leaving those comments, and please keep them coming. They do make a difference in keeping me and other YouTubers going. So anytime you enjoy a video, don't just give it a thumbs up, don't just subscribe to their channel, but regularly drop them a little word of thanks, a little note of appreciation, or just something fun or funny to share with them. It really is a relationship on YouTube in a different way than most other platforms on the internet. Well, thank you again for watching, and if there are any other questions that you have that I didn't answer in this video, please leave a note in the comments. Thank you again, as always, for watching, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.